year they were joking around telling this guy, oh, retirement. Retirement. Look at this guy. Retirement? I feel like the Detroit coach. Retirement? Retirement?
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Who said anything about playoffs?
Like, Rob Gronkowski is just a beast. Just put the ball, anybody he goes up against, total mismatch. You really ever see somebody shut him up and shut him down where one catch, 6 yards, and nothing for the rest of the day.
And I like the new weapons that they have. Right now to replace Julian Edelman for the time being.
Yeah, Danny Amendola left too. But I was actually been big surprised that they didn't target Chris Hogan a little bit more.
I know.
I was seeing it and I was like, wow, maybe the defense, he doesn't get that great separation from the defense. And I guess they were going to pick and choose when they were throwing to him. But when you don't get separation, you're getting a half a second look from Tom Brady and then boom, he's back to Gronk.
Yep. 7 receptions, 123 yards. And Dorsett even had some contributing receptions too as well.
Yes.
The running game, though, the running back field is kind of thin right now because Burkhead is hurt, so is Jeremy Hill. He's on IR, and they just picked up Kenjon Barner this past week, and they just signed 2 new receivers, Corey Coleman, who was recently let go from the Browns.
From the Browns, Cleveland.
And so but no matter what New England does, they always find a way to persevere. The Houston Texans, on the other hand, this was not the way they wanted to start coming into this year. But
I was expecting a lot out of that defense. I was thinking that J.J. Watt fully healthy, Javon Clowney, and just getting in there and getting some disruption because the last person you want to give more than 2 seconds is Tom Brady. He has a quick release and he sees the field better than anybody else.
All right, and let's go. Yeah, definitely good pickup for them. Good win. Let's go to to the city of Magic, New Orleans. 48-40. They lose to the Buccaneers. Highest Week 1 total game in NFL history.
I was at the Giant game. I looked up at the board before the game was like even at halftime, and I'm like, wow, this is a foot race. I didn't think that Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to have an offensive explosion the way he was having with the Bucks because I know that they were waiting for Winston to come back from his 4-game span, but I know Drew Brees. I was actually thinking it was going to be the other way around, that Brees was going to take off, score 38 to 40 points, and the Bucks were going to try to be catching up with only 10 to 14. So the fact that they were just shooting it out like this, did not see this coming.
It was an indictment on both secondaries,
yes.
But 5 total touchdowns from Fitz. And how about even Drew Brees had a great performance too as well. Up until the very end, unfortunately, they couldn't get the game.
But that's going to hurt you. If you could put up 50 points, it doesn't matter. If your defense can't stop them, you're just doing a shootout and praying at the end that you're the last one with the opportunity. And that's not the way you want to win your games.
We got 5 games left. I'm going to sort of like speed through these games so we can get to the
I'm
games.
loving this. This is awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Buffalo Bills go to the Baltimore Ravens. Let's put it this way. This was a butt-kicking of epic proportions. Nathan Peterman, a paltry, and I do mean a paltry performance of 5 of 18 for 24 yards, 2 interceptions, a 0.0 rating, and the team altogether, 215 on 3rd down. This was just crapola in a chef's salad. Yeah. 47-3. The Bills letting go Cordy Glenn, stupid move right there. And on top of that, Kelvin Benjamin. Where was Kelvin Benjamin?
Kelvin Benjamin was the invisible man, and I don't know if you know, but LaShawn McCoy, oof.
Yikes.
Homeboy was transparent. You saw right through him. It looks like...
he hates it there.
Hates it there. It's cold. It's brisk. I'm telling you, right now, he's like, man, I wish I was back in Philly.
But they don't feel the same way.
Nope. They got a ring.
At 47-3, they lose, and the hits will keep on coming for this Bills team. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think the Bills are going to be the 2-14 team.
They're going to be the punching bags of the NFL this year.
Yes.
Speaking, not punching bags, but Andrew Luck, I love the fact that he came back from his shoulder surgery. It took him 2 years to get back, but he really showed that he can play. Unfortunately, they were down 24-23 with an opportunity to go downfield. He throws the ball to Jack Doyle, the tight end. Unfortunately, he fumbles the ball. Fedgedelum, the backup strong safety, recovers the ball, goes for 83 yards. They win the game 34-23. And the reason I say backup safety, because the original safety, Sean Williams, was ejected, the first person to be ejected for a helmet-to-helmet
hit. Yeah. Helmet-to-helmet hit on Luck. You got to protect your key players. They're cracking down. The NFL does not want to deal with Some guy 10 years down the road is having concussion problems because he took too many helmet-to-helmets. Plus, you got the safety of the players. Now, all of a sudden, he has a concussion. You have percussion protocols. Next thing you know it, he can't play. He feels dizzy. You could lose a player for a whole year due to concussion syndromes.
And
It's a scary, scary thing. I think the NFL is actually looking into doing better helmet safeties and spending tons of money to protect these players.
Yeah, they're doing extra padding in the helmets. I think they're putting sensors in there just to evaluate, the concussion.
How harder the hit.
Exactly. They're really trying all these preventive measures. Hopefully, in the end, they'll do that and that things will get better. As for the 49ers, Garoppolo, the $137.5 million man, takes his team to the city of the Vikings, Minnesota, and unfortunately, things just not going their way. But Kirk Cousins making his Purple People Eaters debut, throwing a big touchdown, a fade left sideline touchdown to Stephon Diggs, probably one of the best, another great receiver in the league.
Yes.
Deserving the money he got as well in the offseason.
Yes. Well, the Vikings were a team to be reckoned with last year. I felt like they were missing a piece. And I think the general management was like, that piece might have been Kirk Cousins. So now that they plugged Kirk Cousins in and he's actually doing his thing, they're a team to actually give Aaron Rodgers a little bit of problems. It's no longer a lock of Green Bay running wild in that division. You got everybody doing good between the Bears, Green Bay, Vikings. It's
the toughest division, the NFC North.
Toughest division in the league. I remember back in the day, it used to be the NFC East. You had the Skins, the Cowboys, and the Giants. That's no longer. That's the paper mache one. Now it's the Midwest.
I know the
Rumble,
the monsters.
The Rumble.
It's crazy. And to think, you got 5 Pro Bowlers on their defense too. You think Everson Griffin. You got Harrison Smith, probably a great strong safety who came out of Notre Dame. You have Xavier Rhodes, a nasty shutdown corner.
Yes.
And then you have.
He's great for one-on-ones.
Oh, they really have like a. Then again, you have a good coach too, who was the defensive coordinator. So there, they win 24-16. And the 49ers, though, losing Jerick McKinnon hurt their offense because he was supposed to do everything
for them. He was the utility guy. Sometimes those guys, you think, we can replace him with somebody, becomes the heart and soul of the team. Problem.
The 0-16 2017 Browns. And they played like the color of their jerseys. That's all I have to say on that one.
Hey, it's pretty bad when 21-21, when you get a tie and you consider that a victory. But I feel like the Cleveland Browns are on an upswing. They're starting to feel a little bit better about themselves. I got to give props to their fans. Like, they've been through everything. They even lose the team. The team goes to Baltimore, wins a title. Now you get another team, and it's just as bad as the one previous that was there. And you're losing quarterbacks on a daily basis. So the fact that they're still plugging and fighting away, and I got to give props to the fans. Those guys do not stop. The dog pound, they go wild. One of my friends, Sergeant Amador, running wild every time they do something good.
And they do have resilient fans. I will say that they are probably the most resilient fans, and they even celebrated last year mediocrity. That's like,
well, they were celebrating because they knew deep down, here comes that first round draft pick, and the fact that they had 2 in the first round in the top, first and 4, that's phenomenal. Like, that's a rebuild recap right there.
The defense, though, did a great job this week.
They always had a good defense. Their offense was always a suspect.
But also, I would say their rushing defense has been suspect, too, in the last few years, and that's where they've always needed to plug, because they do have a good passing defense, but they were a Swiss cheese defense when it came up to the ground game.
Yes.
Now this time around, I think they've taken care of that, and they really got in Roethlisberger's face. They forced 4 turnovers on the day. They sacked him a bunch of times. What really killed Cleveland at the end was that T.J. Watt blocking of Zane Gonzalez's field goal. In overtime with 9 seconds to go. That was the game winner right there.
Yes.
But T.J. Watt, who's the better of the two? You say J.J. or T.J.?
I'm a big fan of J.J.
Do you think?
We got T.J.?
I think I'm gonna go
Wisconsin.
I think T.J. is going to eclipse his brother. I really think he's going to eclipse his bro.
That guy's an animal. I've seen him on when they did the HBO special. guy was like the first one on the field. I liked it that he was even the last one on the field. The whole team's off, and the man's still doing drills to get in.
He's really a monster. And now to your
Pure
team.
athlete.
Oh yeah, they have the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winners of the AFC South. This was a Jaguars team that was mediocre in years past. In fact, they were the joke, the butt of every joke. But this time around, the defense really turned around, getting Calais Campbell, having Yannick Ngakoue, Dante Fowler, one of the best cornerback tandems, and A.J. Bowie and Jalen Ramsey, who has the biggest mouth in the world. And then you have a decent offense, but Leonard Fournette really is, that's what they do. They run the ball a lot with Leonard Fournette and then get the occasional play action, or Bortles sometimes will make a play running. But
Blake Bortles. That game, I was actually at the stadium. Me and Matty Ice.
What was the atmosphere like?
You could feel everybody was pumped up. We were outside trying to get in. I had my boy Matt White screaming Blake Bortles just to rile the crowd up. Everybody was cheering for the Giants. We get in, and it just felt like, all right, we're 0-0. Let's get this started. Everybody was dying to see Barkley, what he's going to do. Plus, you're also dying. Hey, Odell, guy's a game changer. He definitely did not disappoint. The only problem I saw was the defensive line. I think Vernon being out was huge. There was no pressure. I was counting. I was like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. And he was just back there. You can't give any quarterback in the league 4 or 5 seconds where he's running around and making adjustments on the fly. And then the offensive line, that right side, was just getting collapsed over and over
Flowers
and over again.
was terrible.
Eric Flowers, we saw firsthand. We knew it. We were even saying it at the very beginning, like, Eric Flowers, this is it. This is your final show. You disrupted everything. He's going to get someone hurt, either Barkley or Eli, really bad by game 4 or 5. He needs to either get retrained or someone has to be brought in. But it's scary when you think about this. Eric Flowers is getting blown by and destroyed. They're so scared of putting in the backup. How bad is the backup where you're like, oh, don't put him in. We'll keep sticking with Eric Flowers.
I know.
And I like to give a shout out to Big Will Hernandez, doing very good, and a Soldier on the left side. They were having a little hard time on a few plays. But, hey, for a rookie to step in there, good job. Take my hat off to you.
I know. Well, then again, you're going up against a defense that was second overall in the league, one of the top sack-producing defenses. You had at least 2 guys on that line that had 10-plus sacks, including Calais Campbell. And that's not an easy guy. You need 2 people at least to try and stop him.
Yes.
But then when you do that, you got guys like Ngakoue, and you got Miles Jack, who got the game-ending interception. And, overall, it was...
For the Giants, another big thing that I saw that I did not... You're going to get killed. You can't keep dropping the ball. It seemed like on every series there was like 1 or 2 drops. And there was a lot of third down and short situations where I think Ingram dropped it, Shepard dropped it, and this is game-changing. You got the momentum. You're driving, all of a sudden 3rd and 3. You throw it over the middle, and he gets either alligator arms or it hits him in the hands. Like, if it gets in your hands, you got to catch it.
They should have won that game, especially considering the Jaguars committed 11 penalties in that game. Right there, the Giants should have been able to win this game just on that alone.
Fournette got injured, and he was even out. I thought that was going to be hey, this is a sign that we got a shot. The leading running back goes down. Then number 2, he was doing it too. He was doing very well, but oof.
Barkley, wow. What about that running made to the outside?
That was actually revitalizing. People were getting disheartened. People were leaving the stadium. And then I'm telling you, when he ran, it's like he lit up the sideline and the whole stadium. Everybody was cheering, clapping, screaming, going crazy. When you get something like that, I'm glad they picked him up with the first-round pick.
Definitely.
The kid definitely has moves and definitely can start that running game. We just need to get that guard tackle on that right side fixed up. We need a Band-Aid, and I don't know what it is. If it's free agency, maybe look into it, or maybe coach up Eric Flowers. But you've been trying to coach him up for the past 3 years, and you're still having a hard time.
And they end up losing 2015, unfortunately. But you know what? Who knows what this week could bring them? Let's go into week 2. Ravens visit the Bengals last night. And
Ooh, yeah.
the Bengals took care of business. 4 touchdowns by Andy Dalton, 3 of which in the first half went to A.J. Green, including the opening 4-yard touchdown and 28 yards and a 7-yarder. And they win 34-23, the same score they won last
week. And A.J. Green, you got to put double bodies on him. You got to get physical with him at the line. You have to jam him at the line hard. He's just such a big guy because he fights through that, and then you need over-the-top coverage. He burns you for 21 points single-handedly.
All right, we're going to go through a lot of the games quickly.
I'm sorry. Am I slowing up the process?
No, that's okay. No, not at all. But we got a lot of games. Let's make some picks. Dolphins, Jets. I'm going with the Jets this week.
I'm taking the Jets, but it's going to be close.
It's definitely going to be close. They're going to have to look out for Kenny Stills. That's for sure. That's going to be the matchup with him and that safety tandem. Giants, Cowboys, Arlington, Sunday Night Football.
I'm going to go Giants. I'm going with my heart, but I think it's going to be a coin toss, maybe a 3-point swing. I can see Dallas winning just barely by the hair.
I don't think Dallas is going to win because the offense line is not going to be able to protect Dak. And I think the Giants' defense line with Vernon, I think, returning this week, or if he's not.
No, he's not. I don't think he is. I think it came out that Vernon will not be starting game 2, and that's huge on the defensive pressure, and I believe that's going to be the swing. I think their defensive line wasn't getting pressure against Jacksonville, and they're going to have the same problem against Dallas.
I don't know, because the fact that the offense line has had issues, especially now with the new center and the rookie, I think the Giants could take advantage of that and be disruptive. It will be a close game. Aldrich Rosas gets it with a field goal.
Nice.
Vikings, Packers. I'm going with the Vikings this week. That's my upset pick. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at me like, actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't go with the Vikings. I went with the Packers. What am I talking about? I'm going with Aaron Rodgers this week. The way he was able to come back last week, but this could...
Yes, but that's I think it's 2 totally different defenses. I think they're going to be after him and hawking him, and I'm going Vikings.
All right.
I'm going against the grain. I'm cutting a different slice.
It's a good matchup of premier quarterbacks.
Oh, yes.
Patriots, Jaguars, rematch of the 2017
ACF game.
Yeah.
AFC game. What is ACF?
No, the AFC Championship. And that was when the Jaguars had a 20-10 lead heading to the fourth quarter, gave up 2 touchdowns to Brady. They won 24-20, go on to lose Super Bowl 52 to the Eagles. What's your pick for this?
I say the Patriots are going to win. But the problem I have is Fournette. Fournette can change it up if he starts running good.
If he plays this week.
If he plays, that's the key. Jacksonville needs Fournette if they want to win, and if he has to be 100%. If he's at 70 or 80%, I would sit him. Don't take a chance of blowing him out for one game and then be hurting for the next 14.
I got the Pats win this, of course. I can't go against Tom Brady in this one, even though he's going up against that offensive line has to protect him, especially you got Maulers.
That defense is good.
Yeah.
They get at you.
And then next game right here, and the running back situation better be improved by this week. Eagles, Buccaneers. Does Fitzmagic continue, or will the Eagles derail him?
I'm going to go with the Bucs. I think the Eagles might take them lightly. They see the offense is there. I'm saying it's going to be the upset city.
All right, I'm going Philly though in this one, particularly Alshon Jeffrey this week. I think he's going to be playing this week.
Yes.
So I think he's going to have a good performance. And Hargreaves, they just lost their cornerback for the year. They're going to take advantage of the rookie who comes in that situation.
Cool.
Now next game right here, battle of the NFC South, Panthers, Falcons. I got the Falcons winning this one. Yes. You got major injuries on both sides, especially that offensive line. But it doesn't matter. You still got Christian McCaffrey. So if I'm the Falcons defense, Vic Beasley, better key on him this week.
Yes, do not let him get wild. Do not let him run wild. I have Atlanta too.
All right, Chiefs visiting Steelers in the home opener. I want to go get some Primanti Brothers sandwiches. But anyway, besides capicola and egg with French fries, I got Tyreek Hill.
Nice. You got Tyreek Hill? I'm taking the Chiefs too. I think they're gonna upset and actually take down Pittsburgh. I think it might actually be pretty bad.
You got Seahawks visiting the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
I say a little dicka against them. The Bears.
The
little
Bears.
Dicka. Little dicka.
Especially Trubisky. He's going to have a good 2-touchdown performance. And I think even Tarek Cohen right there, he's going to get through that defense, that Swiss cheese defense of the Seahawks. Now you got the Browns visiting the Saints. Since '99, The Browns actually have a 4-1 record against the Saints.
After that disappointing game, I feel like the Saints are going to be looking for blood, and so is Drew Brees. I'm taking the Saints, and I think it's going to be high scoring again on both sides. But I think I could see it being like 45-32, 45-35, something like that.
I can't wait to see Marshawn Lattimore versus Jarvis Landry. That is probably the best matchup of the day. But honestly, I think overall the Saints have a better complete team, and I don't think they're going to make the same kind of mistakes again this week that they did against the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Now you got AFC South rivalry. You got the Texans. You got the Titans, if I can get this flag out.
Nice.
And in Music City, and I think Texans are going to be making music on them. It's going to be bad music.
Yeah, I think the Houston Texans are going to come back. I think they're going to be 1-1 and planning on doing some damage. I like the Houston Texans.
Speaking of another matchup, rivalry matchup, you got the AFC West Raiders.
I'm looking forward to this game just to see little Chucky dealing with that defense because they're going to be coming after Derek Carr hot. You're going to have Von Miller, who's a big boy. You don't want him to start testing out Derek Carr's leg anymore because I'm telling you, you lose him again, I'm telling you, lights out. Season could be over before it even starts.
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm not going with the Raiders. I'm going Denver Broncos, especially Case Keenum. The performance he had this past week, yes, he had 3 interceptions, but he had 3 touchdowns. He's got 2 really good rookie running backs, and Phil Lindsay and Royce Freeman.
Royce Freeman's good.
And the Raiders are not going to be able to stop either one of them this week.
They're not going to get pressure, and that's what they were lacking in game 1. They didn't get pressure, and if you don't get pressure, your quarterback's going to sit back there. Case Keenum's going to look like an all-star.
Exactly. I definitely like that. Colts, Redskins. This is really an interesting matchup for several reasons. I think for Andrew Luck this week, this is a redemption game right here from week 1. Yeah. They can't have another mistake that took place. No turnovers. Jack Doyle, please don't fumble the ball this week. If you
throw it to Ebram. Ebram's good.
Yes, exactly. Give him an opportunity.
He got his touchdown and some points. He definitely went up.
Yeah, that's true. He did. My bad. But I got the Colts losing this one to the Redskins. I think Alex Smith really is going to, because the secondary is what they didn't. They spent a lot on the offense line. They didn't do much to improve that defense.
Yes, and I think Alex Smith, Adrian Peterson, the new guy Geis. Oh yes.
They take advantage of that. Now, I know this says St. Louis. I can't find an LA Rams. I know. But you got the LA Rams being visited by the Cardinals. The last time they played each other, remember London? The Rams they smacked the Cardinals 33-0 in the city in London.
The Cardinals do not do that. I think right now the Rams are going to win, but it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be hard hitting and by a hair.
I predict by the second half we're going to see Josh Rosen take a snap.
Oh, wow. That's big. That's big.
For the Cardinals because it's going to be that bad of a game.
Yeah, I think they can win something like 21-10, something like that.
Oh, 49ers, Lions. Speaking of teams that didn't do well in their week 1, but let's not forget, the Lions have not won a game in the Gateway City since 1975.
Wow.
Yeah, in San Francisco.
That is a stat.
1975. Ever since 79, including the postseason, the Lions can't buy a win in San Francisco. In fact, this is the first time they're playing in Levi Stadium.
I blame Joe Montana and Steve Young. They can ruin a lot of people's dreams.
And they can make a lot of people's dreams come true as well.
Yes, if you're a San Fran fan, oh yeah, 79. Wow, that is a long time since you've gotten a win. Well,
keep dreaming.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be another nightmare, especially for Stafford if he keeps making all these picks.
The one thing, though, I have to say, I want to see better improvement in the running game for San Fran this week with Breida and with Alfred Morris. I also, the defense this coming week against Detroit, do the same thing the Jets did. Disrupt him at every turn. Force turnovers, get interceptions on him. And Keon Kenny Galladay. Worry about him this week.
Yes.
And the last game, we're going to see a rookie start this week. Josh Allen
Yes.
from Wyoming against the LA Chargers.
I believe the LA Chargers are going to actually smack up on Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to be the punching bag of the league. I said it before. I say 2-14. They're looking at a first-round pick. They're going to have a lot of problems, especially when you're starting a rookie quarterback. You don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get someone who bends and folds like a napkin, or someone who stands up tall like a brick wall?
And not only that, you give up, I mentioned earlier, Corey Glenn, who's been a long-time asset on that offensive line. Seeing Incognito retire too didn't help. And he's got his own personal
issues. I love it.
And then on top of it, you let McCarron go. Granted, he got the hairline fracture, but he was better than the other options that you had.
Yes.
And you let Tyrod Taylor go, again, better than what you have there. And you have Nathan Peterman. Remember Nathan Peterman? He was the guy who had 5 interceptions in one half against the Chargers last year in L.A. Thank goodness they're not having him start again, because they don't want to have part 2 of that experience.
Oh, yes.
But this time, though, I think Josh Allen will be a lot more elusive. You're gonna see plenty of drawback plays, a lot of quarterback keeper plays for sure.
They're gonna probably also set him up with a lot of quick hot routes, 2-step drops, look, and go. Either toss it or get out of the way.
With Zay Jones.
I'm not gonna try to put too much pressure on him just for the fact of he's new. Everything's gonna be 10 times faster than what he's used to. You got defensive linemen that can run 4.6, 4.7. He's not seen that in college ever.
Exactly. And not only that, Baltimore not having Stephon Gilmore in the secondary, too. Even though they do have Tre'Davious White, who last year had a great rookie season.
Yes.
Overall, though, this Bills team is headed for disappointment, disaster. The Chargers this week, despite not having Joey Bosa, I still think they're going to be able to get some pressure on Allen because, rookie, first start right there, jitters.
You have to. You know that he's a rookie. You got to start sending the house. You got to do some linebacker blitz, have a little corner blitz. You drop a linebacker in coverage, and next thing you know, you have the corner coming from the far outside. Put her under pressure. See what he's made of right away. I definitely see a lot of defensive schemes, a lot of twists, a lot of blitzes coming his way in that first quarter. Because if you rattle him quick and right away, it'll be smooth sailing.
I predict this is going to be a 30-10 Chargers win. That's how bad I think it's going to be for Josh Allen and company. But I think Allen will at least be a step up from Nathan. Anybody's a step up. I'd rather have a high school quarterback out there than Nathan Peterman. I'm sorry, Nate.
Wow.
You are just... Wow. You're horrible. You're just god-awful to watch. Then you can't make any decent plays. He's a turnover walking on 2 legs. So that's why I'm happy that the Bills they come to their senses.
They come to their senses. They realize we're going to be a bad team. Let's at least try out the kid, see what we got, and hopefully they're coaching him up, letting him know like you don't have to win every game. Just learn from every mistake you make and don't make the same mistake twice. And I'm also worried about that line because they start getting at him. You start getting the guy roughed up. It's not going to help your situation with a blown-out knee or an elbow or a shoulder. Those are the main priorities. You got to hold on to that franchise quarterback.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. Thank you so much for joining me on this show tonight.
Oh, this was awesome. I had a great time. Big shout-out to Matty Ice. Encore.
And I want to give a shout out to my compatriots, Staten Island Shakespeare Company, practicing right now for Measure for Measure, currently starting tomorrow and Sunday at Fort Tompkins inside Fort Worth. And the next weekend, all performances at 4 o'clock. Go to the Staten Island Shakespeare website or showclicks.com to get your free ticket to guarantee a seat into those 4 performances. And to see View Playwrights with the final weekend of Hamlet tonight at 8, which is happening in less than a minute. Tomorrow night, 8, Sunday at 3 p.m., and, of course, Annie auditions tomorrow for the children and the adults. This is part of the playbook for all seasons. You are the man. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you guys for having me.
And for all the hardworking men and women at CTV, for all the good people out there watching the show, I'm Eric Rosen saying good night, peace and love, peace and love. We'll see you next week for another episode of The Blitz Zone here on CTV.